it started, I think.
Well, 12 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2006, yeah.
Right. That's when this whole tide began to turn with nerd culture. Because I remember going to school, and Mark, I'm definitely sure you remember this. Anthony, I'm sure you remember this. Mm-hmm. You go to school, you talk about Batman, or you talk about Robot Wars, or you talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You were harangued, you were bullied, you were beaten. Because why don't you like football? Sort of a thing, right? And then all of a sudden the Big Bang Theory comes out, and it kind of normalizes geek culture, but it does it in such a flat and generic way, where all the characters are stereotypes. And again, I have no problem with characters being portrayed as stereotypes for the purposes of comedy, because it is funny, but it's sort of brought geek culture into the mainstream, where every episode Sheldon will be walking on with a different t-shirt that will have a different logo on it, and people will go, what is that logo? What's the Flash? I've never heard of the Flash. And that's what sort of started getting people into it, I think, in a big way. Okay. And I think that's what's led to this society that we're living in now when it comes to nerd culture, where everyone is ripping each other in half over every little thing and arguing with each other. Because I don't think we ever had that to that scale before all this stuff started happening.
That's interesting.
Where it kind of normalized nerd culture. So I think, like, if it was left as its own sort of little niche thing, I think things like the new Star Wars movies, the Ghostbusters reboot, it all would have been met with a sort of, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or, I'm not really interested in
So
that.
what you're saying is it's all Will Wheaton's fault?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm down with that, yeah.
Wesley!
I have earphones on.
I know, that's why I did it.
Yeah, I mean, it will be weird that it doesn't exist anymore, but it's disposable. It's not going
Isn't
to be
it
missed.
funny? It's called The Big Bang Theory. It's going out with a whimper. Yeah. Anyway.
Just leave you hanging on that one. Right, okay, so Rick and Morty, we got a teaser for season 4.
Yay!
It's been renewed for 70 episodes.
Okay.
That's like, what, 3 seasons?
Anthony, talk about Rick and Morty.
Do you not watch Rick and Morty?
I have too much stuff going on in my life.
To watch Rick and Morty?
I want to sit and just do nothing. I can't even do that.
Rick and Morty, Anthony, do you watch it?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Great first season, great second season, great third season.
Crazy.
Nah, not great. No.
Really bad. Nah, it wasn't really bad, but
No,
it was just
it was good. But
compared to the other 2 seasons, it was bad.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Rick and Morty season 4. Yeah, everyone's excited about that. Fantastic. A gigantic Back to the Future rip-off.
There's one I actually recently got into. I really enjoyed. Final Space.
Brilliant. What's next?
Right. We do love a wee bit of the Arrowverse here.
Oh, we love the Arrowverse. Yeah.
The Arrowverse is, apart from that dire Supergirl show.
Oh yeah,
it's horrendously bad.
Terrible. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sex and the City with tights.
But this year, once again, we're getting the big epic crossover at Christmas time.
Yes, we are. Yeah, it's a 3-day event now, isn't it?
3-day events. Although last year they said it was a 4 event, but like the last 20 seconds of Supergirl was the episode. So, you know, and then they recapped it. In the first
at least they got that
Flash.
over and done with in the terrible one.
Yeah. Last year's crossover was brilliant.
What was last year's crossover?
It was the Dark Universe, like the evil Supergirl, and
oh, was it? Was that last year?
that was last Christmas.
Oh god, that feels like years ago now.
That was the evil Supergirl, the evil Arrow. They went to the Nazis.
Oh
and
yeah,
it was so good.
I could have sworn that was 2 or 3 years ago.
No,
now.
it was last year's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was it really genuinely was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So this year they're doing it again. It's going to be Supergirl, Flash, Arrow. No Legends of Tomorrow this year.
Oh, that's a shame.
Because I'm guessing it's just too much. There's just too many characters, too many things. Black Lightning hasn't been included either. He's still kind of just on the outskirts. But the big news is that Tyler Hoechlin, how do you pronounce that? Any ideas?
That's right.
Yes. He's coming back as Superman.
Brilliant.
So we're going to have Superman in it. And we're going to have Lois Lane, who hasn't been cast yet.
Wonderful.
But Superman and Lois Lane are going to be in this. What are you doing to me?
Anthony, get the makeup out. Like, you've got an audition.
Slowly going to sleep.
Get the makeup and the wig out. Come on.
So, okay, right. So Superman's going to be in it this year. And of course, we're going to be introduced to Batwoman, played by Ruby Rose, who was cast last week. Batwoman's going to be introduced with it, and then the idea is that next season we're going to get a Batwoman
No,
TV show.
I'm not so well versed when it comes to the DC universe. Batwoman is vastly different from Batgirl.
Yes, Batwoman is kind of... She's not really even part of the Bat family. She just kind of carries the name Batwoman.
I see.
She's kind of an outsider in the Batman family.
Uh-huh.
But she's a gay character, and that's going to be a big part of who she is in the TV show and everything else. But
see, that's what I'm talking about. That's good. That's progressive.
Yeah.
Because that is taking a character that was that in the comics and putting it into a new form of media.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you were to do something else that's weird or wacky or different or say like, oh no, Robin's gay.
Yeah.
Or something like that, it's the wrong sort of message to convey. Whereas if you introduce a character and go, I'm gay, that's it really. There's more to my personality and there's more to me as a character than just my sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yes. Anyway, so Batwoman's going to be in the series. It's going to be the first introduction, as I say. It's going to be a sort of a soft introduction to this character, and if she's liked well enough, they're going to give her own spin-off next year. So the CW is going to have Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, and Batwoman.
Yeah.
That's 6 DC TV shows.
It's like a cinematic universe, but smaller.
Yeah. And honestly, I think they're doing just as good a job as any
Of the
universe.
Yeah, as the Dark Universe.
Yeah, because like they've got Constantine in there. They've got their own sort of animated spin-offs. They've got all these different things.
Let's be honest. Constantine needs some serious love.
Constantine does.
Matt Ryan is perfect in that role.
Yeah, so good.
And they need to bring the series back. He needs his own spin-off again.
I completely agree. But he's in Legends of Tomorrow this season.
He is, yeah.
He's going to be part of that cast now. Which sort of feels like they're just trying to give him something.
They've done him such a serious disservice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like Constantine as a character is fascinating, and the way that Matt Ryan plays him, it's wonderful. I love it to bits.
He's such a good character.
And the fact that his show got cancelled, it's one of the biggest atrocities in television history in the last couple of years.
Andrew says Constantine got some serious love from Sarlands. Anyway, so yeah, I know I agree. I completely agree. I think Constantine was a cracking TV show. Would you wind your neck in? Are you excited for the Christmas crossover?
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on with bells on, quite literally.
Are we going to get a Doctor Who crossover this year? Or a Doctor Who Christmas episode this year?
Yeah.
Are we, though?
I think so. Do you
think we are?
I think we are.
I don't care.
No?
I mean, it's usually a staple of the show, isn't it? I think what they're probably going to do is, because it's like a 10-episode run, I think we're going to have like 9 episodes that start in, October time or something like that, and it'll run into the Christmas special. It's like the last episode of Series 11 will be the Christmas episode.
Okay. Because I know that they originally said they weren't going to do one, but then there was a thing a few weeks ago, wasn't it, that some guy had put on, one of the Doctor Who directors, had put the Doctor Who 2018 Christmas episode on his CV?
Yeah.
You don't care?
Fascinating.
Right. Somebody on YouTube has said that yes, Constantine got his own animated series. He did, but it actually isn't related to the Arrowverse.
Yeah, I mean, but we want the Matt Ryan Constantine. That's.
But it is the Matt Ryan Constantine.
I know,
he's
but
not part of the
we
Arrowverse.
want the
TV
live
show.
action.
I just want to know what happens at the end of the series. Because it ended on a cliffhanger, on a pretty big cliffhanger, and I just want to know what the payoff of that is.
Oh well.
Right, what else have we got? What about
some dreams you can just never finish, you know?
Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth have left Star Trek 4?
Yeah, they have.
Is this the end of Star Trek on the big screen?
Who cares?
You don't like Star Trek?
I don't.
Do you not?
I think it's boring and pretentious.
It is.
I think it's terrible. I don't understand why it has a following.
Andy, can you take his seat here and just push him off it?
Do you want me to give him a kick?
Yes, please. Please do.
He wouldn't dare. But no, I liked the J.J. Abrams reboot of Star Trek. I genuinely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I loved Eric Bana as the villain in the 2009 one as well. The 2011 one, Into Darkness, I thought fell to pieces because it was basically playing Star Trek's greatest hits.
Yeah.
You had like Tribbles in it, and you had Khan in it and everything. And then Beyond, I loved.
That was the third one. Yeah, I liked it.
I loved that because
really
it just felt like such a great continuation of the 2009 one, and you had the great interplay because like I love whenever they team up Bones with Spock, and because it's Zachary Quinto and Carl Urban.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with that. I mean, that's fantastic. I thought the storyline was great. I loved the introduction of the new character. What do you call the female alien? Her, yeah, I thought she was great, and she's played by the girl that had knives for legs in Kingsman. Yeah, that's the one. So, and I loved Idris Elba in it as well as the villain, and I thought it was a fantastic addition to the Star Trek continuity. But Star Trek 4 to me has always been a big sort of what?
I know.
Whenever it comes to what they were planning, because they're getting Chris Hemsworth back on board. Because before he found fame as Thor, he played
Kirk's father.
Kirk's dad, yeah. So and he gets killed off at the start of the movie.
He does.
So why on earth they're bringing back his dad? It's obviously going to be some time paradox
he was
thing,
going to go back and meet him,
or whatever. And it was going to be like a nice sort of way to tie that up, because they mentioned his dad in Beyond whenever they're toasting to Kirk's birthday. And he talks about how I joined Starfleet on a dare, like my dad believed in this, and he died doing something he believed in, whereas what's my role in this? So it would have been nice in that respect to sort of have him go back and meet him, and the two of them work together in an adventure, and he sort of learns that his dad isn't this infallible hero.
Yeah.
So that would have been nice, but to me, it always felt like Star Trek on the big screen has been floundering the last couple of years, because they took too long to make a sequel after the first one came out and it was so well received. And whenever they did take so long to make it, whenever it did come out, it was very negatively received. So then they tried to get on the ball to get Beyond out for 2016, and by that point people were just off the hype train.
Yeah.
So in order to get butts and seats for Star Trek 4, get Chris Hemsworth in. He's a big name now. He was in Ghostbusters, he was in Thor.
Yeah. But
he's a big Avengers character.
With the death of Anton Yelchin a couple of years ago as well.
Yeah.
And now Chris Pine is out. And Chris Hemsworth is out.
Apparently the rest of the cast are walking as well.
I'm hearing that the rest of the cast... I think this Star Trek is gone.
Yeah, it's dead.
I think it's dead.
And I don't think Discovery has done it any favours either.
No. How so?
Well, just because it's kind of awkward, and I kind of want to get into this a little bit. The Orville.
Yes.
I want to get into that, because that's something that came to fruition whenever we were off air, and we haven't got a chance to talk on air about the Orville. I'm in love with the Orville.
The Orville's great.
I think it's one of the best Star Trek shows ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even a Star Trek show.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting in its way, and again, it ties into what I was saying earlier about everything has to be this dark and gritty reboot and all this nonsense this day and age. But it's kind of fascinating to me that Star Trek has done that with Discovery, and it's become this dark, gritty thing, and it's kind of pulling the fans all over the show now, where it's supposed to be set in a certain timeline. It's supposed to be a prequel to the original series. The visual aesthetic and tone of it looks nothing like it, and it's pulling the fans into the ground, and everyone's pulling the head off each other. People going like, this is great, this is terrible. Or you could be like me, I just don't care. But then you get things like the Orville, and it's so interesting that the Orville was sort of birthed as this wonderful parody of the Next Generation, but yet when you watch it, it is kind of like the Next Generation. Mm-hmm. It's got the same visual style and tone. It's got great storytelling. It's got characters with heart, and it's funny too. It takes like this great light approach to the characters and that sort of world that they'd be living in. Yeah. And it's really interesting that the Orville has been received such more in a such more of an open and embraced so well by the Star Trek fans, whereas Discovery is just so polarizing.
Yes, it's interesting that a non-Star Trek show is more Star Trek than the Star Trek show.
Star Trek is, yeah. And I think that has played into why Star Trek is failing as a franchise.
Okay.
Because if you release something that is as jarring and as polarizing and as pulling the fans apart, like Discovery, that negativity is going to spread throughout all aspects of the fan base. So whenever
as we're seeing with every other fan base.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that has played a key role in why Star Trek has started to diminish.
Okay, that's a fair point, yeah. The Orville, I thought, was a great TV show.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything from it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd seen the trailers. The trailers were dire.
Yeah.
It made it look like this pathetic sort of
Family Against
jokey poop and fart joke show,
Yeah.
and like the second I sat down, I watched the first episode, and what's so refreshing about it, and people haven't done this with comedy in a very long time, especially in the mainstream, is if you want something to be funny, all the characters have to be on board with it.
Yeah.
They have to treat it like it's real, and that's what they do. Like.